Good morning. It is Friday. Thank goodness it's finally Friday. What are you doing this weekend? What kind of activities are you getting into? There's a lot going on already, but I want to hear from you. What do you got going on? Curt, what's up, man?
What's up? Hey, go ahead and drop that in the comments. We like going back after the show and kind of hearing what people have to say. So as you're tuning in today, again, happy Friday to everybody. We're going to have a wonderful show, a short show today.
I wasn't going to tell them that. It was going to be a surprise.
Surprise ruin.
What if people are like, oh man, if they're doing a shorter show, I'm not even sticking around and I'm leaving now.
The people want to beg for it.
Yeah, and then everyone's gonna be sad, including myself, and we're just all gonna be crying in the room all together. It's just gonna get real weird real quick. It's 8:32. We're gonna go on the FM right now here in 5 seconds. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. My name's Gardy.
And I'm Curt.
It is 8:32 a.m. on a Friday. That means the weekend is here. I mean, you have to get through the workday today.
Yeah, way to ruin everyone's excitement for the day. It's like, oh, it's the weekend.
It is the weekend.
I still have to work.
Dude, Friday counts. I mean, work is different at Fridays. It's usually like casual Friday. That's, I came in a little bit more casual. You came in.
I thought of that when I got ready this morning, but then I was like, nah. Let me wear the red sweaty shirt. Let's go.
Dude, you look kind of drenched.
It's hot outside.
Is it raining outside?
No, it's hot. It's spicy.
It's spicy outside.
Spicy outside. You know, one of the things I do want to say something that's really cool, and I believe that God is good all the time, right? And I got some awesome, exciting news yesterday. Somebody knows about my issues with my air conditioning in my car. And
You mean you blasting it on the internet and talking about it every day on the radio and complaining about it? Somebody heard it?
Somebody heard
That's
it
impressive.
And has actually agreed to help with the air conditioning. So it's going to be a huge blessing to me. I haven't told that person, like, hey, I want to mention your name for doing this.
It's not me. I was raising my hand because I wanted to say something.
Yes.
The way you kind of position that, you said they agreed, and you kind of do this thing like look in your face, and I imagine you like having their arm behind their back, like, so are you going to help fix this air condition now? Are you going to make it happen now? And then you twist it a little bit more. What about now? That's when they finally agreed.
No,
I was like, whoa.
No, they reached out to me and said that it had been on their heart to help and bless me, I guess, with air conditioning. And so I think it's really kind of cool to see when God, really shows up and blesses you. It's amazing.
We hear stories like that all the time, and maybe God was touching that person, and they felt like they were like, but I really would rather use this money and funds towards like something else. And God's like, maybe you should listen to me and bless that person. And in return, hey, you'll see all the cool things that happen.
I won't have to show up to the studio anymore with like sweaty red shirts. So
you did that even when it's cold outside.
True.
Still like show up in sweaty shirts somehow.
It's
impressive.
Yeah, it is. But I just wanted to say, like, God is good. Today it's Friday. And I'm at a loss of words on how to like just say thank you to this person, because that when I was doing the analysis of, hey, what's wrong with my air conditioning, it was going to be like $1,300, and it was like, I can't afford that. I can't do, like, it made no sense for me to even put that amount of money into my car. And for this person to cut the mechanic rate in half and then cover that half was just like, I'm blown away by it.
Yeah, it's very, very, very cool, and that's awesome. So, you put some blessings out there, and you open yourself up to receive as well. It is Friday. It's 8:35. I saw a post this morning that I wanted to mention. Big Mo. He's in Lamarck, Texas, at Whataburger in Lamarck.
Already here?
Yeah, he posted a picture, and I was kind of sad because I was like, I wish you were at KHEA Radio Studio in Lamarck, but he's going to be doing this really cool cooking class. That I say cooking class, it's a smoking meat barbecue class that you learn, from a pro. This guy's done it all over the world, big and small, on the biggest stages ever. But he's going to be over at Texas Pit Stop Barbecue. You have an opportunity to go sign up to win a free spot in that course that's taking place, I'm guessing, this weekend. I mean, he's in Lamarck. It has to be going down. Shout out to Texas Pit Stop Barbecue for supporting us here at KHEA. You know, we definitely support them. I was there the other day and had one of the most pleasant experiences of my life. I mean, every time I go in there, it's awesome, but shout out to the Pit over in Lamarck. So, anyways, we do stream live from Lamarck, Texas. We broadcast live at 99.5 FM in Galveston County, and then KHEAradio.com, and also the KHEA Radio app. So there's been a bunch of stuff that's going on this weekend. We were talking about the lunar, the moon landing, 50 years. It's been like an event every evening, right?
You know, last night I actually had an opportunity to sit down and interview with one of the gentlemen who was on Apollo 16 and walked on the moon.
Wait, was he nice to you, or is the other guy that was mean to you?
The director of the director of the movie was not so nice, but the astronauts, and I actually talked to the flight director of the Apollo 11 mission, and I was just blown away. You know, I asked, a question to the guy. I said, what was it like to be on the moon and look up and see the Earth? And he was like, actually, you know what? I couldn't see the Earth because when we landed, it was right above us and our helmet was above us. And he said, the only time I accidentally slipped and fell and was laying up and looked up and saw the Earth, but he said, that's the only time. But I thought it was really kind of cool. Here are people who, it's been 50 years since we went to the moon. The first time that we landed on the moon. 50 years is a long time. A lot of these people are of old age now, and we should be hearing these stories and seeing these documentaries with these people before it's too late. I think it's awesome to kind of look back at where we're at. And I think, everyone I've talked to when I've been at the Space Center in Houston has said, I want us to go back to the moon. And I think that's still a legit possibility.
It is, yeah. And capturing those stories, being able to hear those first accounts, like, how did you make it happen, And I agree, like, why not? We were talking yesterday that you want to, like, live on the moon one day or something. I don't even understand it, but I'm willing to send you. We just need to work on your reasoning skills, and so you can pass the test. To be an astronaut.
Don't you think if you had the opportunity... If you had the opportunity to go to the moon.
No, I'm staying here.
Really?
I like it here. I have a family here. I have 2 kids. I will send you. I already offered that option.
I just think it would be an awesome experience to be like, hey, like, I'm in space, like.
Yeah, let's send you. I'm all about it too. I think it'd be an awesome experience for you. I'm about it. Let's get a petition. Maybe we'll do a GoFundMe to build a rocket for you. Now that your AC is going to be in pristine, cool working condition, we can move on to the next thing, which is getting you a spaceship so we can send you to space.
I feel like I now have to go and finish like everything else on the vehicle now that I'm going to have air conditioning, like update the hood, paint it all again.
Well, yes, but I could see you being like, well, now that the AC's working, I can sell this thing and I can make like way more money. Like, you invest.
I'm sorry, putting AC into the vehicle is not going to increase the value to where.
I'm paying. Okay, if there's 2 cars exactly the same, one has AC and one doesn't, I'm paying for the one a little bit more.
It might be like an extra, like, what, $100 for the AC to be working in a vehicle when you go to sell it in? It's not going to make a huge difference.
Well, it depends on who you sell to. Again, if you sell it to me, I'm only buying the car with AC, and I'm willing to pay way more than $100. Because how much? Oh, it's $1,300 to fix it? Oh, yeah, that's worth $100. Your math does not add up.
Yeah, but, maybe, Steve here has a really good point. Steve from Cupcake Cache.
You don't need AC in space.
Exactly. That's what
it's
I'm
already
saying.
Cold.
It's already cold.
You need
Steve,
heater.
Thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. Hey, Cupcake Cache, by the way, yesterday we were talking, I think it was Tuesday, we were talking about keto cookies. You got to go get those keto cupcakes from Cupcake Cache in Lake City.
Well, I saw Prepping Sisters, which they carry the keto cupcakes from Cupcake Cache, are starting to carry the keto cookies from the Cookie Lady in League City. So it's always fun to see these relationships come to be, and it's just a different opportunity and makes it more accessible to get the products that everybody wants because keto's popular. It works. I was reading some Facebook comments in one of the keto groups that I'm in whenever we had the 2 ladies from Alvin. They have a really cool group. I would like to bring them back in.
Julie Nash, is that correct?
Yeah.
And somebody else.
Yes, that is correct.
I'm sorry, I can't remember the other. Wow, I'm sorry.
I forgive you. It's 841. This is KHEAradio.com, 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. We're going to be on actually till about 9:30, and we're going to be talking to an affiliate program of the United Way. I believe it's like the the Big Brothers, Big Sisters program. We're going to learn everything that they do. Me and Eldridge were talking about it because sometimes, well, this wasn't put in the calendar, but it was actually a conversation where he said, we're having the Big Brothers, Big Sisters in. And I was like, okay, you're going to have to tell me a little bit more than that. And that's kind of where you left it. And you said they're an affiliate program, but I'm excited to be able to legitimately learn everything.
So I know a little bit only because in college, one of my friends, her name was Alia Mawson. She actually was a big sister like since high school. So what it is it's almost like you work with a young kid and mentor them in some form or another. So that might be like, you're helping them with homework or you're taking them bowling, so it's kind of like, hey, I want to be your big brother or your big sister in a way. And so it's a really cool program. I really enjoy this whole program was kind of adopted by one of the greatest football coaches that I know, and that's Tom Osborne. He was the Nebraska football coach. He actually took this idea, this Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and created a mentorship program for kids in school. So you could be an adult and you would go in and help kids with school. You would sit down with them for about an hour, and it's all part of giving back to the community, and I love it.
Giving back is what it's all about. There's so many different opportunities. We learn something every day, whether that's a nonprofit organization or there's an event coming in town. There's so many opportunities to give back. And before we started doing this morning show, Kickstart on KHEA Radio, I honestly had no idea. I knew there was a lot of things, and I volunteering at church and working in different outlets. That was my bubble. But having this opportunity lets me realize how big Galveston County is. It's big and small all at the same time because a lot of people are connected. Like, we were talking about the keto options. All those are connected. They're businesses that work together. But there's so many different ways you can get involved, and you don't have to do and participate in every single one of them.
No.
But find something that you are passionate about. Maybe you had an experience where, man, I wish I had that mentor, that cool older brother, or I could be that, I can be that older brother now, and help this younger generation, or the business camp that we talked about yesterday as well. There's so many different things.
Teen Biz Camp was really kind of cool. There's so many ways to give back into the community, and I see Christina Wells is tuning in. Shout out to Christina Wells. She's one of those people who I feel also gives back a lot,
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like, kind of going back to the whole AC thing, one of the reasons why this gentleman was able to help, and again, I'm forever grateful for this. He said the reason was because you guys give back. And, I like featuring these organizations, the United Way of Galveston County Mainland. When we were talking about doing this cook-off, immediately it was, hey, we want to benefit them because they're giving, like, all of their funds goes back into the community and helps organizations like this one that we're bringing in to be the good in the area.
Yes, and the event that we were talking about is the Talk of Taco Cook-Off that's taking place October 12th. It's a Saturday. It's going to be 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We are doing a barbecue-style cook-off, but it's featuring tacos. There's different categories. It's a really small entry fee. It's affordable enough that an individual, like if you make the best tacos, or your mom, your dad, your grandma, your brother, sister, husband, wife, they make the best tacos, you can enter. Or if you're a restaurant, a food truck, you can come and enter as well. But we were having conversations with some of the council members from the city of Lamarck, and we were kind of pitching the idea like the city of Lamarck should have a team. And so Tink Jackson, who is the city manager, said, hey, I'll cook the meat. And, the council lady, woman, she'll be able to, Casey is her name,
yes,
will be able to maybe bring some of the fixins, which she has a farm. So they're going to be like organic and fresh and from right down the street. So that'll be fun. That event's benefiting the United Way right here in Galveston County of the mainland.
I want to find out if, for those of you who are listening on Facebook, or if you're listening on 99.5 FM, you can give us a text at 346-704-1806. It's 346-704-1806. If you have a question about the Talk of Taco Cook-Off, because I've heard a bunch of questions, and I want to make sure that everybody understands what's going on. The biggest one is, what am I cooking and how am I cooking? So can you walk us through those 4 categories, or do you want me to walk him through?
No, you love walking through those categories. There's a lot of information that's on that Eventbrite link, And we do get a lot of questions. We've been getting emails about the events, like what does my entry fee get me? Yeah, there's 4 entries. Beef, chicken, seafood, and open. You know, there's one fee. You don't have to pay one fee per. And it is a little bit tricky to explain, and I wish there was an easier way to, because the way that it currently is, it's like I have to pay an entry fee for each one. No, you pay one fee, and that's listed on the Eventbrite link on our event for it, and you get an entry into every single category. And then you have the opportunity to walk away with trophies, you know, and we're looking to put together some other stuff, but we're partnering with local businesses that are helping put this event on for us as well.
Yeah, so that event is actually, I just dropped it in the comments below. So if you're watching on Facebook and you're like, what's this talk of taco? You know, I was talking yesterday with a lady from Channel 2, and I was telling her about, you know, the Talk of Taco cook-off, and she's like, wait, like a barbecue cook-off? And I was like, yeah, and she's like, I've never heard of this. And I'm like, yeah, we looked.
We know.
We know. So I got to call her later and see if we can get some information to Channel 2 about kind of what's going on. But we're super excited about this event. We want to find the best taco. And so in each category, the beef, chicken, seafood, and chef's choice, there are going to be 3 winners in each category and an overall champion. So you have an opportunity to go back and brag to your people that you have the best beef or chicken or seafood or open choice taco.
So we're about to switch it up a little bit and bring in our guest so we can learn about the Big Brothers and Big Sisters program. Right now it's 8:47. This is KHEAradio.com, 99.5 FM. If you're watching on Facebook, do me a huge favor, and this is the only thing I'm going to ask of you today, maybe, is share this video out. Go ahead and smash the share button and just be involved. If you have any questions, we're going to take a quick break. This is 99.5 FM.
Justin just asked, how do people get to judge this? Justin, really fast, I just want to say we're trying to see how many cook-off teams before we open up judging, but we probably won't open up judging until like the day before.
You know, we need the sheriff's department and all the police departments and everybody else to have a team, because I think it'd be fun. But judging is going to be necessary, but we just have to see how many teams we have, and then we'll be able to know how many judges. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
What's your name?
Shannon Burke.
Shannon Burke. Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Gulf Coast.
That's right.
So y'all are one of the affiliate programs of the United Way. That's correct?
We are, absolutely.
Cool. Yeah. And if somebody has never heard of the Big Brothers, Big Sisters, can you give me like a rundown? What do y'all do?
Sure. So we cover all of Galveston County and parts of eastern Brazoria County. And what we do is we mentor children. So we provide professionally supported matches to at-risk youth. At-risk is a pretty wide range, and so it could be anything from kids having trouble in school to maybe getting bullied. We have some of the foster care system, just anything where the parent or adult feels like they need another adult role model in their life. So we match same gender to same gender, so big brothers with little brothers and big sisters with little sisters. And it's a fantastic program that's been in existence in the county since 1975.
How long have you been involved in the program?
I've been with the program a little over 3 years.
Okay.
So I'm the 3rd executive director of the agency, and so in 43 years we've only had 3 EDs, which is a pretty good record. It's a lot of big shoes to fill.
So this is like for life. It's like, are you going to accept this role? This is, since the 70s it's been going on.
Yeah, they pretty much made me sign my life away, and I'm okay with it. So yeah, it's a passion.
Okay, so we have about 2.5 minutes, and then we're going to switch it on to the FM. We're hanging out with our Facebook audience. We have Shannon here in studio. You're the executive director of the Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Gulf Coast. So this is the Gulf Coast like regional section of this program that's a lot bigger than just our area, right?
Right, yeah. So Big Brothers Big Sisters of America actually started in 1904, and right now there's just a little over 250 affiliate agencies across the country. We've even got some in Hawaii. So each agency is kind of their own business, and they cover their own counties within the state. And so we're just one of 250 agencies, but we do as much as we can in the community, and we're so grateful to be a United Way partner agency. They do amazing things for us. They provide training for our volunteers. They give us funding. They let us participate in all of their activities. So it's just an amazing way to connect the community, and our small role in that is through mentoring. So
cool. Why and how did you end up on this path?
Oh, that's a long story. How much time have you got?
Minute 45.
By luck, by pure luck, and I just have been very blessed. Growing up, I was fortunate enough to have 3 aunts in my life who really helped mentor me and keep me on the right path. And so about 4 or 5 years ago, I kind of had a life change and moved from Austin down to this area. and was just looking for a better way to give back to the community. And I was fortunate enough to meet the previous executive director, who was getting ready to retire. She'd been there for about 12 years and was looking for a replacement. And I literally stumbled into it. And it's a piece of the puzzle that I never knew was missing. And it's truly a passion.
Do you have any siblings?
I have one older brother.
Okay.
But I always wanted a big sister.
That's what I was wondering. But you had the aunts kind of fill that role for you growing up.
I did. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Shannon, were you ever a big sister or?
I was not. I'm getting ready to be. We're actually starting a brand new program over here at Lamarck Primary. So it's one of our school-based programs where 1 day a week for 1 hour, our bigs, as we call them, where our volunteers go to the school and have lunch with their little. And we're starting to kick that off this school year at Lamarck Primary. And so I'm going to be a big sister there.
So this may be a weird comparison, and I'm sure they've kind of copied or used y'all's format. But I've heard that in like sororities, you know, where it's just like, oh, my big and my little. Yep. That's the only other place where I've really heard that. But somebody looking out for the other person, kind of mentoring them. So we have about 20 seconds, and we'll get into this as we're hanging out with Shannon Burke. So share this out if you're watching on Facebook, and we appreciate you. Let us know what you got going on today and this weekend. We got 10 seconds, and I'll let y'all listen to the last half of the song.
I love you, my heart will always sing. I love you.
Good morning. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. My name's Gardy.
And I'm Curt.
That was Carrie Job. The song's called One Desire. I like Carrie Job, but sometimes it's just like not enough. And I know like you feel the same way when it's like, I just want to hear the whole song.
Is that the whole song? That was the end?
That was the end of the song.
Oh, okay. But sometimes their songs are super long, right?
Oh, yeah. I had to cut those bad boys down. Like they're like 10-minute songs. I ain't got that kind of time. I got 3 minutes.
I like Carrie because it's like a smooth, but sometimes I'm not always into Carrie. Like I want to jam, you know?
Yeah, I like how y'all are on that first name basis.
Me and Carrie.
Yeah, you and Carrie. So
Job.
It is Friday. It's 8:53. We are talking to one of the affiliate programs of the United Way, Galveston County, Mainland. We have Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Gulf Coast in studio. Shannon Burke, you're the executive director. How are you doing today?
I'm great. It's Friday.
It is Friday. What does that mean for you at the Big Brothers, Big Sisters program here in our area?
Besides Casual Jeans Day, which is big in the office, it's just a chance for us as a team to come together. We're really small. There's 5 of us in our office, but we have fun. We're a family. I have my program director who just celebrated her 18-year anniversary with the agency. So we just, Friday's our chance to kind of breathe and just enjoy the time.
Gardy, how come we do not have Casual Jean Friday?
You wear jeans every day.
True. Okay, never mind.
You wore shorts yesterday.
But they were nice dress shorts, let's be honest.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah, it was fine. Nobody can see our shorts anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're good. But, Casual Friday, that's cool. There's nothing wrong. Hey, do you consider Friday to be the weekend already?
I do.
Me too.
Thursday night to me is really the weekend, really.
Friday Junior. I saw it on Snapchat.
Friday Eve.
Yeah.
Friday Eve.
That works. But the weeks, I'm sure, are busy. I'm sure the weekends can be busy as well whenever you're a part of the Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Can you kind of give us an overview of what the program offers?
Sure. So we have 2 different programs. We have a site-based program and community-based. Community-based is probably what people are most familiar with, and that's where our bigs spend time with their littles on their own schedule. So maybe on the weekends they go pick them up and go walk on the beach or go see a movie, maybe get something to eat, just whatever their schedule allows. And then our site-based program is split into 2. We have a school-based and workplace mentoring. So school-based, I kind of mentioned that a little bit earlier, where 1 day a week during the school year, as a big, you go have lunch with your little for 1 hour. Mm-hmm. And then workplace mentoring is once a month where the littles actually go to the workplace that their bigs work at and spend an hour or 2 learning about career development, educational requirements to get in those fields, and just anything and everything to kind of spend time. And it's really just about having someone consistent in your life. A lot of the kids in our program don't have consistency or a regular schedule. And so to have someone there for them consistently is a game changer.
So at the work one, are the kids working?
They might be. We have partner programs with a couple of the facilities in Galveston, like the Corps of Engineers, the Coast Guard. And so they actually get to go out and they'll show them the boats, the helicopters. They do demonstrations with them. So whatever the workplace is, the point is for the kids to learn about what they do. And if it's a hands-on work activity, maybe coming into the radio station and sitting and observing what y'all do every day, that would be fantastic.
Sitting and observing is fun, and we can do that for a bit. But whenever you were mentioning that the first time, I just pictured Curt like kicking back, and they had the little brother doing like all the work, and Kurt's like, yeah, you missed the spot, kind of just doing everything that you were supposed to be doing.
No, but you can take him like bowling.
Oh,
and
absolutely,
stuff.
absolutely.
So I had a friend in college who actually was a big sister and had been a big sister to one kid for a very long time.
Oh, that's great.
But they would go and have like, hey, we're gonna go and grab a bite to eat or something like that.
Right. And, for us, it's not about how long you spend with that child on a one-to-one basis. It's longevity. So we ask our volunteers to commit to 1 year. And really that 1 year can consist of about 4 hours a month. So even on a Saturday, if you go grab a bite to eat and go bowling, that's easily 2.5 hours right there. So again, it's just about knowing that they're there for you. And then during the school year, it's that 1 year commitment is just during the school year. So we actually have a lot of bigs this last school year who, when summertime was approaching and they realized they weren't going to be able to see their little as regularly, they actually switched over to our community-based program so they could spend more time together, because you do form a bond and a friendship.
Yeah. Who's a good candidate to be a big brother or a big sister?
So our bigs have to be at least 18 years or older, and they have to successfully complete a criminal background check. Child safety is our #1 priority. We want to make sure our kids are safe, and so all of our volunteers go through a layered criminal history check initially and then annually throughout the life of their match. And then besides that, they just have to live or work in Galveston County or within a zip code in eastern Brazoria County that we cover.
Okay, you mentioned something about Lamarck Primary School. And I know there's like some schools that are being built in Lamarck, and it's Tech City ISD now, so there's a bunch of, change that's going on. What are the programs that are happening at the school? And I know you specifically mentioned Lamarck Primary.
Yeah, we actually have quite a few school programs spread throughout the county, but Lamarck is one that actually had approached us several years ago, and we were just about to kick off the school-based program there, and then Harvey hit. And we literally had no school to go to. So that really got put on hold. So we're just now getting back on track with that. Besides Lamarck, we have Cofelt Elementary, Roosevelt Wilson, League City Elementary. We've got L.A. Morgan on the island, and we're also trying to start Rosenberg Elementary in Galveston. So
okay, so y'all are pretty busy.
We are busy. That's why
seems.
Fridays are nice.
Yeah. Friday's kind of chill. So there's 5 of y'all that are at the office. And where is the office exactly?
Our office is actually in Galveston off 61st Street. So we try to stay local. That's where we started originally. But we cover all of Galveston County. So we're all over the place. And during the school year, my team is actually at the schools overseeing those match activities. So.
And how do y'all usually work with the United Way? How does that relationship work?
So they're one of our funders, which means we have to check in at least quarterly to make sure we're doing what we've promised the community that we're going to be doing. But besides that, it's really just a partnership. I mean, we share resources. We are definitely not, we're not able to be successful on our own. So it takes a community, right, to help with kids and to help in any business. And so the United Way really provides us with resources, not only volunteer-wise. We actually have one of the United Way volunteers, employees is a big sister of ours. But providing training both for our staff and our volunteers, and then our families. It's not just the kids that we try to support, but the families. So if we know of a family that recently had to relocate and is having some trouble with utility payments, we'll contact the United Way and see if there's other agencies that they support that can help the families.
It's like a web of relationships.
Oh, absolutely. Right.
Have they told you about the Talk of Taco cook-off?
No, I was hearing about that earlier, and I'm excited.
Yeah. The United Way of Galveston County, man.
I'm calling him right now.
Randall!
No, they're great.
Randall's our big sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
She's
what does
my
Randall...
She told me she was my big sister, too.
Oh.
Randall.
I don't feel special anymore.
No.
Spill the beans.
So how does Randall help with Big Sisters?
She's a big sister in our school-based program. So during the school year, 1 day a week, she goes and has lunch with her little. And I get asked all the time, can 1 hour a week really make a difference? And I guarantee you, it absolutely makes a difference. It helps with attendance. These kids now have something to look forward to when they know their big's coming. It helps with self-esteem. It helps with academics. Sometimes the bigs help them with homework. Sometimes they just sit and play games. But it just, again, it's knowing that they're there for them regularly.
And how does that change, I guess, the mentality? How does it affect these kids, and what ages are they?
Good question. So our ages, we start at 6 years old and we go up to 17. When they turn 18 or graduate high school, we officially close the match, but that in no means that friendship's over. And it's a variety of things. Like I said, self-esteem, better grades. Our biggest goal is to break the cycle. So a lot of our kids come through about 67% of our kids live in single-parent families.
Wow.
And so they just don't have another role model to help guide them. We've got a good number of kids that are living with grandparents, aunts, uncles. So it's just that other figure. And then we also have about 42% of our kids have an incarcerated parent. And unfortunately, when you grow up in a household with a parent who's incarcerated, automatically that child is more likely to drop out of school, be unemployed, and possibly end up in prison themselves. And so we want to break that cycle. We want to find someone that they can turn to and rely on and give them opportunities that they might not have otherwise.
You said this, like, hey, can an hour, a week or however long, that can really help to break that cycle?
Absolutely, right. And, the thing is, my team works incredibly hard. I'm so fortunate and blessed to have an amazing group of people that I work with who their passion and their mission is to make lifelong friendships. So it's not just about the first volunteer that walks in gets matched with the first little brother on our waiting list. We look at personalities, interests, schedules. What do we think is going to work best? Because we want it to be long term. We actually are just getting ready to close our very longest match, big sister and little sister that were matched for 13 years. And so it goes on forever. We have littles that are in their bigs' weddings. They still get together at Christmas time. They take them on college tours. It's an amazing program and amazing friendships that are formed.
You mentioned earlier, I think you said 1905 is whenever this first started.
1904.
1904.
Yep.
So it's been going on for a long time.
Right.
And I'm sure things have changed, with technology in the past 3 years that you've been here.
Yes. Oh,
okay.
Absolutely.
So, are the principles the same from 1904 to now, or has the vision kind of shifted?
It shifts. It's constantly evolving. It has to with everything that comes and goes. The mission is still the same. The goal is still the same. But the methods change throughout the years. So, for example, we've switched to tablets and doing paperwork. But some of our families still don't have computers at home. So we help them in paper-based applications. Just little things like that change throughout the years.
So here's a comment, and this is from someone watching on our Facebook stream. If you have any comments or questions about the program, maybe you want to get involved, feel free to ask. They said, I heard there's a waiting list for the program. I'm not sure if they're talking about the kids or if you are one of the bigs.
The kids. We usually have a waiting list with littles. 90% of our waiting littles are little brothers. We have a harder time getting men in to volunteer, so we're always looking for big brothers, if y'all know of anybody that's interested. But the little brothers are harder to match. And so one way we try to combat that is through big couples. So we also allow, it's usually married couples that have been together for a year or longer can get matched with the little brother. And the goal is to try to get more boys off of our waiting list.
Is it more difficult to find the guys because they at least think they're busy, or they are busy, or just trying to find time?
The most common thing I hear is I don't have time. And understandably, it can take time, but I think people think they have to give up their entire personal life to be able to be a big. And it's really not the case. It's not making time to fit someone else in your life. It's just incorporating them into your daily activities. So we encourage our volunteers, take them grocery shopping with you. Take them to the beach. If you have a family activity and you've been together for 6 months or longer with your little, bring them over for dinner with your family. Let them see how a happy, functioning household works. And so I think the time commitment can be a little intimidating. I think a lot of times, too, our volunteers come in thinking they have to be perfect. They've got to be these amazing role models who know every answer to every question. And that's not the case. A lot of times it changes our volunteers more than it changes the littles because they realize you just have to be yourself.
I was thinking about that. If we had a little brother that was hanging out here with us, he would see the good, the bad, the ugly, the dirty, and they'd be like, so this is how people who, have a good working relationship are supposed to handle. We're like yelling and choking each other. But at the end, we're just like, hey, it's okay.
What happened to my axe? I'm sorry.
It's over there.
Okay, good.
I had to hide it behind that pole so he can't see it. Out of sight, out of mind.
Right. Nothing happened.
But I'm not intimidated by that at all.
No, nothing happened.
But I understand the worry about, like, hey, I'm not perfect. Like, I have somebody over for dinner. If one of my kids starts acting crazy, you know what I mean? I'm just like, stop, everybody, stop.
I think it's how you handle it. It's letting them see how you deal with those situations in a calm, hopefully, way eventually.
Hopefully.
Flip this table. One of the things that I thought was really cool, when was that? Back in January, was that when I had one of our foreign exchange students, and I had to kind of we went and watched a movie.
He did not speak English.
Oh, no.
English, and I went with my friends, and we went and watched a movie, and he enjoyed it. He ate way too much popcorn.
He said he fell asleep.
Oops.
He fell asleep. So I was like, Kurt, you took him to go see an American movie. He
But
doesn't speak English.
then I took him to Bay Area Raceway, and we went, and he had a blast. He was driving the go-karts. We were racing. I wrecked him a couple times. You know, like we had a great time.
Well, and that's actually another thing we try to do is partner. You mentioned the Raceway. We have partner businesses that are local because, our volunteers, they're spending their own money if they're taking their little to eat or to go to the racetrack. And so we want to try to help them. We're always trying to provide low cost or free activities for them to do. And so we have a match discount partner program with some local businesses where they offer discounts to our volunteers. So a lot of times it's like a buy one, get one free just to help our volunteers.
So if there's any businesses out there that want to be a part of that program, they could just reach out to you.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear from them.
We'll do a discount as well.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't
figure
decided.
it out.
We'll figure it out.
Buy one, get one.
Buy one, get one of us. I don't know. It doesn't really work.
They don't want
a radio. Man, I tried. Hey, we love Bay Area Raceway, by the way. We're next weekend on Saturday. We're going toe-to-toe with Bay Area Raceway. We're going to challenge them. Our team is not set yet.
Yeah, if there was any littles that we had, we could put them on our team because we need extra people. It's really hard to find people that want to be on our team. I think they think we're going to lose because it's us versus Bay Area Raceway, and we're doing it's going to be a blast. Like laser tag, we're going to do certain video games and then do a race, and whoever wins the most is going to win. But for whatever reason, everyone's like, yeah, we don't want to be on your team. We'd rather be on their team. I don't get it.
Yeah, we have to have 5 people, and there's 2 of us.
So, I can see if some of my team members want to go.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Eldridge, do you want to go?
Eldridge is at camp.
Not on Saturday.
Not on Saturday, you're back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we just need 2. Can we get one little kid?
We can try.
Okay, they could bring the volunteer would be awesome. They could bring, it could be a little activity.
They would love it.
Okay.
Are there any kids that are big NASCAR fans, or they're walking around already in their racing
we
gear?
Need the best.
That's the one.
Okay.
We don't want just a chum off the side of the road.
We'll put some feelers out. I'll see what I can get for you.
Really good at video games.
Ooh, there's a lot of those.
Bay Area Raceway just lost.
Guitar Hero. That's one. Who's back? Ethan will be back.
We don't really want Ethan. Sorry.
I love Ethan, but I don't know if he's good at anything besides painting.
Wow, he's too tall for the go-karts.
I called him this morning. I chatted before I called you. I tried to have the same conversation, but you didn't answer. And then...
What conversation?
It's okay. It's 908. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. We're speaking to Shannon Burke. She's the executive director of Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Gulf Coast, located off 61st Street in Galveston. So you're from Austin.
Actually, I'm from St. Louis, Missouri.
So how did you end up in Austin?
Job change. Prior to this, my previous life was a totally different career field. I was actually in healthcare compliance and had been doing that for about 14 years. And my job took me from St. Louis to Austin. So I was in Austin for about 5 years. And that really, at the end of that time frame, I just realized it wasn't the life I wanted. I wanted to be able to give back more. I wanted to be more connected to my community. And so that's where I am now.
What is healthcare compliance?
It's an auditor. It's not something you want.
On the government side or the insurance side?
Insurance side.
Okay.
Insurance side. Yeah, it's basically going into hospitals and auditing all of their records to make sure there's no fraudulent billing going on. It's
Which
very
is
exciting.
important. Yeah,
it's very important. Yeah.
You probably saw a lot of my medical bills that are still unpaid.
We're not going after you. We're going after the doctors to make sure they are billing you correctly.
Can I give you some of my bills that you can be like...
Go after the doctors.
Sorry, I'm not in that field of work anymore.
Dang, I missed out.
Do you know anybody? Just be like, all these bills, they were fraudulent. Fraudulent bills. No. So is that a little bit more fulfilling to make that switch?
Absolutely. There's a lot to be said for really great jobs that have longevity and benefits and amazing salaries and vacations, but it's also high stress. You never get to turn off, and I never got to turn off. And working 60, 70 hours a week and constantly on my phone, it gets to you after a while. And so it's been an amazing change. It's an adjustment. Moving to a new city, learning the new cultures and meeting new people and starting a new job is a big change for anybody in any field. But so it's taken some time to adjust, but it's amazing. I love it.
St. Louis, Missouri, Austin, Texas, Galveston, Texas. Yep. I don't know if I've ever been to St. Louis, Missouri, but, Austin to Galveston, can you kind of describe, I guess, are you very... you can adapt to those different places? Because there's different vibes for sure.
Oh, Very different vibes. Honestly, I never thought I was one of those people. Change scared me. But moving from your hometown to a brand new city and not knowing anybody really wakes you up and makes you just have to adapt. And so, yeah, I think now I can adapt to pretty much anything. Yeah, Austin, I loved Austin. I missed certain parts about it, but man, the traffic, I just couldn't take it. I couldn't take the congestion. And the people here in Galveston County are so friendly and so welcoming. I mean, literally from day one, I felt like I had an immediate family here in the area, and that's huge. So,
I want to go back a little bit to the Talk of Taco cook-off that we're putting on for the United Way Galveston County mainland. The event is taking place October 12th. Where it's basically like if you've ever heard of a barbecue cook-off, this is just strictly tacos.
Nice.
So there's 4 categories: beef, chicken, seafood, and chef's choice. $100 gets you entered in to be a cook-off team. There's going to be vendors there. There's going to be bounce houses. There's going to be games for kids. So this isn't just for cook-offs. This is going to be a massive taco festival that has a cook-off to it. Why should somebody join or do a cook-off team that's benefiting the United Way Galveston County and ultimately comes back to you?
Well, that's a great question, mostly because not only does it connect you to your community, but it also helps you give back to your community. So the United Way Galveston County mainland has over 20 partner agencies that they support. Every single one of those partner agencies has to go through a very rigorous application process to get any funding from the United Way. So we have to do, it's about a 30-page application every year. We have to do a panel interview with community members, not United Way employees, but community members, to help explain why we need and should receive some of the funding from the community. And so when you give back to the United Way, you're giving back to every single one of those partner agencies. So for us, for example, for Big Brothers Big Sisters, you're helping us to create more matches between a big and a little. You're potentially taking a little brother off of that waiting list and matching them with a volunteer, and that's life-changing.
And you don't have to necessarily donate money, right? Because your time, you can donate
Absolutely.
time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know the United Way is always looking for volunteers. I know this week they had a really cool summer reading camp for some kids throughout the community, and it was all volunteer run. So, even if it's just going into the United Way or calling and asking what they might need help with and volunteering a couple hours a week to help run some of their programs, absolutely, it gives back to that community.
All right, we're talking to Shannon Burke with the Big Brothers Big Sisters Gulf Coast, located in Galveston. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. Right now it's 9:13. It's Kickstart. We're going to be on till, I guess, maybe 15 more minutes or so. It's Friday, which means that there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Curt was talking about this because he's from Nebraska, then, went to Vermont, but he's not from here. So this year they're celebrating 50 years of landing on the moon. And he was like, man, I didn't realize, growing up in Nebraska, how big of a deal it was, or at least it's a big deal down here because this is the community that we are. Growing up in St. Louis, Missouri, was it the same thing, or was it always a big deal?
No, kind of the same thing. I mean, It was a big deal. Of course, it's a big deal, but I didn't really realize the magnitude of it until I moved here. And I mean, even just driving around, the first time I remember driving around trying to get a feel for the area of the mainland, and the streets are named after astronauts and NASA things. And yeah, it's amazing. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Last night, it was kind of a cool situation. If you missed earlier in the show, I actually got an opportunity to talk to one of the astronauts from the Apollo 16 mission, and he walked on the moon, and it was just like, man, this guy's been to space.
Did you touch his feet? Just kick my hand. Can I kick my hand real quick?
I shook his hand because it was kind of cool to picture somebody who's been able to look back and be like, huh, that's,
Dude,
I don't know if I could do space, though. You know why? Because I would come back to Earth and just want to go back up. You know what I mean? When you... That's all I would be thinking about is how do I get back up into space?
You know what? You goofed because you should have asked the astronaut if he wanted to be on our Bay Area Raceway team, because I feel like he's a real life... he'd have to be good at laser tag, good at racing cars, genius level, probably Guitar Hero. Come on.
Man, that's the only person we needed to take down this team. So... Yeah. We're talking to Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and I see Tabitha just tuned in, so I hope Tabitha hears this, but we got a secret weapon. You're going to help us find a kid to be on our team.
Absolutely, yeah.
We got the whole...
I know we've got a lot of littles that are huge into the video games, so if that's part of it, you're in luck. We'll find someone good.
We do it for the kids, And at Bay Area Raceway, we just want these kids... to shine, you know?
Yeah, to shine and take them down. And they shouldn't be around us when we win because it's not going to be pretty.
It's good to teach kids about healthy competition, right?
Oh, yeah, healthy.
Healthy. When I'm swiping my card to play the games for free.
Yeah.
What did we agree that we were getting out
I
of it?
don't remember. We need to call them. We love you guys.
I remember if we lose, we have to stand on the side of the road promoting Bay Area Raceway.
You know
It's
what?
not happening.
Joke's on them. I think it would be fun. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
I've never done that, but you drive by and sometimes it's like, hey, there's a new subdivision, and there's like the people who get really talented with it, and I'm like, I wonder if I could do that, and this is going to be my time to try it.
Do you get to dress up too, or no?
Maybe.
I think you should.
Why not? I mean,
In my hot dog suit.
yeah, he has some.
Can I
suits and
show
stuff.
up? If I was a big brother, would it be weird if I showed up to every event in my hot dog suit?
A little, but that's all right. Different is good. It's got to be hot.
Yeah, he walked
It's-
in this morning.
Sweating. Sweating. But praise God, somebody's blessing me with some air conditioning, which
Yeah.
will be awesome.
They hired somebody to sit in the passenger seat with a fan and just like ride around with them all day and just fan them, so that way it'll be a little bit
Whatever
cooler.
works.
It works.
So we were talking earlier, Shannon, about how there's a need for big brothers.
Absolutely.
And so I guess, give me like a rundown of why this is important. Like why, if I was sitting on the fence where it's like, maybe I could give up an hour a week, or something like that. Why is that important?
Well, it's unbelievably important for these kids because they're just looking for someone that they can count on. They're looking for someone they can turn to, look up to. And, a lot of times kids, unfortunately, that come through our doors are in situations where they have to grow up really fast. They've got to become adults because they don't have parents in their life, or there's multiple siblings that mom and or dad or both are trying to take care of. And maybe they're one of the oldest or just old enough that they can step up and take on a lot of responsibilities in families. And so they don't always get a chance to be true kids. And so being a big brother allows them to be a child. It allows them to have fun, to go out and do fun things with someone that they can also talk to. I mean, think about growing up. Did you always want to tell your mom or dad or a relative all of your deepest, darkest fears or worries or anxieties? I mean, sometimes, maybe, hopefully, but not always. I have an amazing relationship with my mom. She's my best friend, but there were things growing up that I didn't want to talk to her about.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to have some aunts that I could turn to, but some of these kids just don't have that. And so giving them that opportunity it's life-changing.
The kids that sign up for this program, is it their decision or do the parents do it?
It's, kind of both. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the parent or guardian has to be the one to enroll them. They've got to be the one to come in and fill out the paperwork. And we require in-person interviews because we want to get to know them face-to-face. But on the flip side, the child has to want it too.
Yeah.
So if a mom is saying, you're going to go in and you're going to get a little brother, like it or not, it's not going to work because that little isn't going to want to be in the program. They're not going to want a big brother. And so we won't move forward with that match.
Okay.
So,
That's
but-
what I was wondering.
Yeah, and the littles, we bring them in too. We do a face-to-face interview with them separate from mom, dad, or guardian. And we ask them the question, do you want to be in this program? Do you want a big? And if their answer is anything but yes, then we stop it right there. But 90% of the time, it's yes, they want a big.
Yeah, growing up, there was a lot of things, and your parents are always looking out for you, but there's things that's like, I really don't want to do this, Mom. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to make me do this? Like, why? What, just being shy and other reasons like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that y'all kind of break through? Because I was to
Yeah.
imagine myself sitting there, I'd be like, I don't know. Like, do I want to
Yeah.
do this? Maybe. I don't know yet.
Sure, we absolutely have bigs and littles that are a little shy, a little nervous. I mean, it's nerve-wracking to go in and think about
Yeah.
committing a year. And so it's just a matter of talking to them and trying to get them comfortable. And, we ask certain questions. We ask every one of our littles that comes in if they've got any 3 wishes in the world, what are those wishes? What would those wishes be? And that sometimes just opens up that door to talk. And same thing with our match activities, especially in our school-based programs. We provide icebreaker activities because we want to get them talking to each other. And the other benefit of having a big is once our kids are in the program, if they go through high school and they're seniors in high school, we actually offer a scholarship to our graduating littles because we want to encourage education. And so this year we were fortunate. We had 6 amazing little sisters and little brothers that graduated high school. Most of them are first in their family. Every single one of them is either going into college or the military. And we were able to give 4 of them scholarships to do that.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. It's 9:20. We have a couple minutes left where we're going to keep going. Is there anything else that you would like to share about the program or how people can get a hold of you, anything at all?
Yeah, so I mean, our office is located in Galveston, like you said. We're off 61st Street. Our phone number, if anybody wants to call and make an appointment or just ask questions, is 409-763-4638. Our website is mentorsgc.org, and on that website, there's actually a video of 3 of our actual matches, just talking about what the match means to them and what they do. And if anybody can tell the story the best, it's our matches. So I encourage people to go watch that. They can inquire online so that we can provide them with more information. And, you know, if you're ever thinking about it but just not sure, call us, talk to us, come in, see our facility. You know, we'll be happy to invite you to some school-based activities if you want to see what it's all about.
Definitely. I'd be willing to go check it out.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to even look into possibly helping, like even for an hour. I don't have an hour, but I will try to find... I'll seriously consider doing something because I think it's a big part of growing this community.
I think that the neatest thing you said is you have an hour, just take them with what you're already doing. Like if you're even like working or editing, if they're interested in it, then they would find it entertaining, you know?
Absolutely.
So that's fun.
We've got a lot of our volunteers, you know, obviously they're givers, and so they volunteer with other entities as well. We have a lot, you know, I'm huge into animal advocacy and making sure that our animals are taken care of and working with local shelters. We have a lot of volunteers that do that, and you know, we have one big sister that she takes her little sister to donate food to different local animal shelters. And so it's just things like that. You just incorporate them into your daily lives.
Yeah. You know, learning to volunteer at a young age is important too.
Right. Absolutely.
Man. And so even if you were using that time to give back to someone else, whenever the kid could probably use some of those things at home, it just, oh man, that's really a crazy situation to kind of think about.
I think about when we met Casey, the council lady from, I think her last name's McAuliffe, if I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
She was actually having kids with her as they were doing the cleanup for the Lamarck cleanup day.
Keep Lamarck beautiful.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, this is cool. Like the kids are out there picking up trash, and the guy was like, I had the biggest trash can, you know, as a little kid.
Bragging about it, having fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Casey was like, you were picking up an entire rail track, like it doesn't really count, you know, like I was like, that's funny.
Yeah, but it's good. Why not get involved at a young age? You know, if you have some kids and just show them like, hey, you can volunteer, whether that's at the food shelter or just picking up trash on certain days or getting involved with the coalition that's doing something in the community. So there's a lot of opportunities. Thank you, Shannon, for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
And, you know, thank you, United Way, for making this connection as well. We'd love to learn more, come out, or maybe meet some of the kids as well.
Absolutely.
You know, before we sew things up, I do just want to say, like, go check out the event for the Talk of Taco Cook-Off. I can't tell you enough how important it is to get registered, get signed up, get that cook-off team ready to go. It's super important to do that. It's going to be a fun event, and it's the first in the nation that we know of where it's a cook-off featuring the best food in the world, and that's tacos.
It's in Lamarck, Texas. We're proud to do it in Lamarck, Texas. We broadcast from the campus of Abundant Life. It's the weekend before Bayou Fest. So October is packed, and there's nowhere else you need to go. Right here in Galveston County, specifically Lamarck, you are set, and it's free to attend. If you want to enter, it's a very minimal fee, and it's very affordable to anybody. I promise you that. So
yeah, go check out the event to learn all of the details. We're looking forward to having a whole bunch of tacos
right now
on our campus.
It's 9:24. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. We're going to sew the show up a little bit earlier today. I'm going out of town. I'm going to Kentucky. I'll be back, Kurt. Will you take care of this ship?
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I got to bring up before Monday's show, you're not going to want to miss it. We're going to have Chef Mary Bass as our guest host that day. Plus, we're talking to Perry Brooks, and we have all 4 owners of Gypsy Joint coming in. So it's an entire show revolving around food. You're not going to want to miss it.
That's too many people. Eldridge, I'm leaving you in charge. I can't trust Kurt. I'm leaving you in charge, our intern, Eldridge. My head just started hurting thinking about all that switching.
Woo!
There was not planning that went into that booking right there.
This is our guest host, and I'm
It's
super.
not her show.
I'm super
You let her call the
excited.
shots?
I am letting her call the shots.
See,
as
this
long
is why
as it involves food.
Can I come back to that one?
Yes, you
Perry
can.
Brook is going to have brisket tacos. Oh. It's going to be good. Monday.
It's 9:25. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Coming up next is Bethel, Drenched in Love. You can stream us from anywhere in the world at KHEARadio.com, or better yet, download the KHEA Radio app, available in the Google Play Store and also in the App Store if you have an iPhone. It's Friday. Go do something positive this weekend. Be blessed. Bye, Facebook.
Bye, guys.
Thank
Love
you for joining us.
Thank you.